Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Because as you can see, no expenses spared. The Saturday Social props board is here. We're getting our money's worth from this season, Joe, aren't we?
Yeah.
What we're going to do, there's a lot of chat about managers this week, isn't there? And incredibly, there have been 8 sackings in the Premier League this season already, and 2 of them at one club, Watford. So obviously 7 clubs have new managers. So we did this about 4 or 5 months ago. We ranked all the managers, but obviously because there's so many new faces, we're going to do something very similar again. We've got all 20 current Premier League managers, and we're going to rank them on the tier list from A, being elite, down to E. Do you want to explain how this is going to work, Joe?
Yes, this is a little bit tricky, this one. It's a little bit tricky, but we have got the tier list king, James Allcott, in the studio, and one of the most controversial characters in football, Specs, in the studio as well. So what we're going to ask the guys to do is rank all 20 managers, A to E, but a caveat here, they must have 4 managers in each category. So it must be an even split. So we don't just have everybody in B or C, because there is some really good talent in terms of coaching in the league right now, isn't there? Otherwise, everybody in B and C, it's a bit boring. So you have to have an even split. It's a bit X Factor, sort of the chairs style here, isn't it? So let's start alphabetically then. Arteta's Arsenal. Where are we having him?
OK, so yeah, this is really scary. This is going to be chaos, Specs, but
this is going to be tough.
It's going to be fine. So 4 in each one. I think this is a good starting point.
It's a tough starting point, isn't it?
Yeah, because knowing that there's a lot of good managers knocking about here. Yes, he's won an FA Cup. Yes, something's starting to happen there.
Yep.
But I wonder if this is a good starting point as a C, possibly, just because I feel like there might be... Is it totally going to work out for Arteta at Arsenal? I'm not sure. I think he's hovering between these two. I think he's a good he's good middle ground manager in terms of our list.
I would go B.
You'd go B early doors. He's setting your stall out early by going B.
Do you think there are 8 managers, because 4 in each, that are better than Arteta? Be quick.
Specs is doing the maths here. Specs, you must love Arteta, though.
I love Arteta now.
He has, cleared out a lot of the issues at Arsenal. What did you make of his sort of handling of the Aubameyang situation?
I thought that he handled that great. Just go. Go. Yeah, we'll buy you out. I like that.
I like him. I do like him. So I think B. I'm okay.
Oh, there we go.
Let's do it.
Specs has swayed James Allcott, manager 1. So this is, there we go, Arteta.
He'll be A soon, by the way.
Oi.
Yeah. 4 months' time.
Wow. So you go with B. Alphabetical order based on teams. The next one is Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard, of course, fairly new to his
one of the
time
new
at Aston
ones.
Villa.
One of the new 7 that we've
won the league title for Rangers, of course. We know brought in the likes of Coutinho, so used his experience to bring in some decent players. Dino as well, of course. Where do you place him? A lot of Villa fans excited about Steven Gerrard.
I think this is why we've done the 4 of each, and this is why it could turn into chaos, because this is a manager who's at the start of his career, but I think is super exciting.
Yeah.
I think he's got everything you want. He's got that gravitas. I like the way he kind of delegates to his coaching team, people like Michael Beale, who I think is a really exciting coach.
Yeah.
Did brilliant stuff at Rangers, plays exciting football, and you've seen McGinn get better, Ramsey get better. He's also got that pulling power of bringing in Coutinho. But there's so many good managers, so I'm struggling. And it is early days. I wonder if we can just about, at this moment in time, find 8 managers that are better than him.
Already?
So I think I would put him at
Specs.
C.
You think he should be higher, do you, or lower?
I'd say lower.
Really? Yeah?
It's still early.
Still early.
It's still early. I mean, 2-3 games? For me, it's E.
Yeah?
Listen,
E?
it's E because
Steven Gerrard.
It's free. I need to see. He needs to show me why he's C.
How much value do you give his time in Scotland?
Scotland was unbeaten.
Yeah,
he was amazing. But this is now he's in England.
There's a lot of good names in here. This is what I mean. This is going to be chaos.
All right, I'll tell you what. B.
Meet in the middle.
Wow, I think
meet in the middle.
Harsh.
Yeah, I was saying C. You were saying
you look at what he's done with
meet in the middle.
You look at the way Villa, in terms of the players that he's managed to bring in. I mean, they've said that he was the factor in bringing Coutinho in, and the way they've played, what he did in Rangers. I think that D is harsh for Gerrard myself.
But we'll allow you to move as well. So you could potentially have a manager you're going to talk about later and go, actually, let's swap them around. So you will be allowed to move later on. They're not locked in from this moment.
You're going to see later on why I put Steven Gerrard D or E.
OK, Thomas Frank up next, is it?
So, Brentford fans won't like me saying this, and people think it's biased because I'm a QPR fan. But what I'm going to say is, yes, he's got them up, but this is an incredibly well-run club. And this year, they're kind of playing the football that's necessary. It's not good to watch. It's not good to watch.
Okay, 5 losses in a row as well.
He says some strange stuff at times as well. It goes, the interviews are a little bit odd for me. So, but he did get them up, and they are looking like they might stay up this year.
They've had some big results. So
they have.
You know, Arsenal
for them
at home
to stay
and
up,
Liverpool.
it's astounding. But I think he's D or E personally. in terms of the 20 managers that are out there.
Specs, what are you thinking?
I have to agree on that one.
Yeah.
What I will say is, I know that you said about their form and that they obviously have lost a few games now, but they are 14th in the league. If you asked any Brentford fan at the start of the season, you'd be 14th in the league at this stage of the season. They would have all taken it, surely.
Absolutely.
First ever season in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm not sure if this actually ends well because I think it's 6 on the bounce. Have they lost now?
5,
Is it 5 on the bounce?
5 on the bounce.
I think they are struggling a little bit at the moment.
When was the last time he wore the leather jacket?
The leather jacket. I don't know. Is that not Gareth Ainsworth? We're getting mixed up with people. I don't know. He is rock and roll, that's for sure. I just think I don't think he'll be there long term, and when he moves elsewhere, I don't think he'll be above any of these other managers in terms of name or the clubs that he managed.
Okay, and let's not forget you do have to have some people in it. Yeah. I know that we think they're all really good managers at the moment, but there has to be some scope here.
I'm happy with that. What do we?
You can go deep if you want. Remember, you can change.
Well, give me a dear and E, Specs.
You can change, so maybe
we can change. We'll just keep him either. We'll just keep him, for now.
Right, that could change.
Wow.
Wait there, don't worry.
Okay, who we got next?
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
He's a great manager.
He is a great manager. I think he's done brilliant stuff there. You look at the metrics. A lot of the time, he's got this Brighton team like brilliant in terms of possession.
Yeah.
Great recruitment elsewhere, but he's got to make those players work as well. They don't just become good names. It's due to his coaching ability. I think he's got a big jobs coming for him sooner or later.
Yeah.
And they've sold some of his best players as well. Let's not forget losing Ben White in the summer and only really replacing him with Duffy coming back on loan from Celtic.
Yeah.
That's a big job to fill Ben White's position. We've seen how good he's been for Arsenal, and he's filled him with a player who was kind of, out of the reckoning when he was on loan at Celtic.
I think the thing about Graham Potter is how he maximises each player that he has, and you look at the way. I just think as a coach he's exceptional. The way that he gets that team playing football.
Yeah. Very level as well.
He's involved in so much. He has been linked with other jobs as well, but obviously come out with some strong quotes saying how much he enjoys being at Brighton. But for the tier list, where'd you put him?
I think I've got to put him in B.
Do you think his next job is like a top six Champions
Definitely
League
top
job
six.
then, Specs?
Yes. I mean, look, seeing him turn Dan Burn into a left back, that's great coaching.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah.
So, Graham Potter for me is he's top six.
I know you're a fan of. Would you take him at Man United? Because I know you're a big fan of his.
I think he wouldn't be the first choice, but it wouldn't be a total disaster if it ended up going to Potter. John. He wouldn't be at the Poch and the Ten Hag level, but if it ended up at Graham Potter's door, I would be absolutely fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, who we got?
Your guy.
Sean Dyche.
My guy.
Go on, Specs. You love Sean Dyche, don't you?
Yeah, Sean Dyche for me is A.
Yeah.
No, honestly, because...
No, Specs.
No, he's
You've got to think of the four who are going to be an A. Surely we know the four.
Well, let me explain.
Loyalty,
Why is he A for you?
loyalty is the longest serving manager in that pack there. I love the way Burnley play. Never has resources, but gets the best out of players.
Yeah.
That, for me, why is no one talking about him? Sure.
Because they've won one game all season.
Yeah, but listen,
I think that's
I've seen this. I've seen him get relegated with Burnley.
Yeah.
Stay with them and bring them back up.
Yeah. He's got 2 promotions with Burnley.
But do you not
kept them in the Premier League for the last, I think, 5 seasons. And also, you mentioned the budget, one of the lowest budgets in the Premier League.
Go on then, place him in. Where are you looking?
So you expect you want him in A, do you?
I would put him in D or E, personally, because of the season that Burnley are having.
So you want him in D or E and Specs wants him in A. So where are we going with this one then?
So maybe we go C.
That's incredible.
In the middle. What I would say, look, he has done an unbelievable job at that place. He will have a statue. How many of the managers will have a statue at their club?
Yeah.
I think he's already got a pub. What can Arteta say about that?
And he's nicknamed the Worm Man.
Yeah, exactly. And just so he doesn't get angry with us, maybe.
Okay, we might be able to move it in the future as well. We got surely our first A candidate here. Surely, don't give me those eyes, James. It's Thomas Tuchel.
I think, on YouTube, a lot of people are saying Chelsea will win the league this year.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's true.
There's struggles there. Yeah, I think I might have done it as well. And he hasn't done that. Look, what's it? 390 days in the job, and he's going into a League Cup final. He's been in Champions League final, World Club final, Super Cup final. Of course, Champions League offers that a little bit.
He's never been knocked out of a cup. He's got to every final he's been in with Chelsea.
I think he's easily one of the top 4 managers.
In the
I think you have to put
world.
I think you have to put him there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean.
Yeah, I
maybe
agree.
not the world, but certainly the Premier League.
Great manager.
I think it's an easy one. Yeah.
I think most people would agree with you with Tuchel in A. Next up, Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira. Interesting one, this.
So he's had to sort of undertake a real revolution, Patrick Vieira. That said, I'm having looked at the fixtures they've still got to play. They've got quite a tough run in. I'm a bit concerned about Crystal Palace. It's been all very exciting and they are playing better football. They give away silly goals a lot of the time. And elsewhere in his career, he hasn't actually achieve that much. So in this list of managers, which is very, very stellar, I put him in E.
Would you? Wow.
This is one of the few in this list that I think I confidently put him in E, because when you look at him against everyone else, he hasn't won trophies, and this Crystal Palace side, although they've been exciting at times, I know that's winding you up, Joe, so I'm just going to change that. He's not done it yet, and I project that it could be an awkward end to the season for Palace.
Interesting. I think his recruitment's been good. Brought in a lot of players. Big turnaround in the summer. Made some good signings, but interesting that you're putting him there. Let's go straight on then to one of the new managers, Frank Lampard at Everton. 2 games, of course, beat Brentford in the FA Cup and then lost to Newcastle in the league. So it's quite early, to be fair to him, but obviously we saw he did it at Derby and Chelsea. Where do you put Frank?
Remember what you said about Vieira, so this is going to be interesting.
I think Frank's down there too, personally, because at Derby he was able to spend a decent amount of money. He was able to utilise his contacts, which is a good thing, of course. But the players that he brought in and what they've gone on to do, Mason Mount, Tomori, Harry Wilson was in that team as well. Should they have maybe gone up with that Derby side? It was a very tough division that year. But he did OK, went to Chelsea. Again, with Chelsea, yes, the transfer embargo, but he's still got depth in that squad with Chelsea a lot of the time. So he hasn't really done that much, again, when we look at this list in terms of his entire career. So I put him down.
I agree.
Because he achieved it,
That's facts. Yeah. I think the Chelsea one was disappointing. I thought that was disappointing. So I think he's got a lot of work to do. Eventually he will climb. But he has to start.
To be fair, Frank, he had the transfer embargo, as you said, at Chelsea.
Lost Eden Hazard the summer
Lost Eden Hazard as well before. I think this is quite harsh. This
You've got to have somebody in East.
Yeah, OK.
Importantly, it is early days for him, and I think I like him. I think he's also...
Everton fans are excited about that point as well.
And I also look at managers and go, has he got the humility to get better and smarter as a manager? I think he's got that in terms of bringing in Paul Clement and people like that. So,
OK, got to move it on.
It's not forever.
Bielsa. An opinion splitter. Total opinion splitter, Marcelo Bielsa, I think it's fair to say. Some love him, some don't rate him.
So I think Specs is going to go different to me here. What I would say about Bielsa is, with the injuries that Leeds have had, for them to have this sort of quiet season where they finish safely mid-table is actually a huge achievement. Think of every other Premier League team, take out the striker that has scored a huge number of your goals in Patrick Bamford, and get on with it. And in terms of your bench, just have kids, chuck them on. And for them to not truly be in a relegation battle as of yet, I think that's pretty astounding. Add to that the fact that, what he brings to the league, his history as well. I think he's B or C for me.
Specs, what do you say?
I mean, this is a world-class coach. He should be an A. But, he's got a great history. He's at Leeds, respectfully. So,
and impact, I guess, of Guardiola, Pochettino, people like that. You can't say that about any of these other managers in terms of the style that other people have taken on.
I'm going to go B.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's move straight on to Brendan Rodgers. Obviously got a great cup final record, won loads of trophies with Celtic, FA Cup and Community Shield with Leicester. But not been the best season so far, currently 12th in the league. Where do you put Brendan Rodgers? It's an interesting one, this, isn't it?
He's having a tough time at the moment, but they've also had a terrible season of injuries.
Yes, true. I've been a touch disappointed about his demeanour in recent weeks. I will say that. I think the big question with him in terms of in or out of him staying at the club is, has he got the stomach for the fight to kind of go again? He's always been seen as this ambitious manager that should go to try and take those Man United jobs and those other ones. I'd put him in C.
Yeah,
because I think he's won the FA Cup with this club. He's done brilliant
stuff. Complete agreement with that.
Cheers, Specs.
The next two, you've got Pep and Klopp. So do you just bang them both in A?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're both...
Oh, no, hold on.
No disagreement
Hold on.
No, Specs.
No, hold on.
What are you saying?
I was going to say Klopp B just because...
Specs, don't try.
I expected him and Pep to be, head-to-head.
They are head-to-head. They're always classic head-to-head. They're only 6 points behind.
I'm sorry, Specs.
They win the game.
James overruling.
Why
don't you stick it in A for the time being? Because don't forget, you can move them all about. So you can move in at the end. Who's got next?
Next is a controversial one, I think, next.
OK, this is dangerous. Right, because I'm looking at the other managers here, and there's only one spot left for E. Is this guy, Ralph Rangnick, is he the E? Because...
My finger's there for him.
I think this is one. Let's keep this moving. Let's put him there. And the reason I put him there is because purely as a manager, purely as a manager, it's not working. I like him higher up, and I think he should stay at the club.
But
and he offers that.
you say it's not working.
Soft skills. I'm not sure he's got the soft skills.
You say it's not working. I don't think United players need soft skills at the moment. They've had incredibly soft skills with Ollie. Very softly handled, very good with the press, very kind to players. I think they needed a shake-up.
As director of football or whatever his role will be, not as manager. But let's have a final look at the end, and that might be one that we swap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm disappointed with that because I actually think Ralph is doing a pretty good job at United, and I think we're not far away from clicking into top gear.
That's not true. I know we're short for time. But that's not true, Joe. We'll talk about that another time.
I think it's totally fair.
Killed you there,
yeah,
right, next up, Eddie Howe, Newcastle. Big spenders in January.
D.
Good win in the week.
D, yeah.
Then Bournemouth.
I think I'm intrigued to see how he grows with the club. I've been impressed with what he's done so far, and in terms of it's helpful when you can buy this player and that player, but the structure that he's got there, that game against Everton, I was super impressed with the structure of the team and the players that are already there. So I think D's fair.
Fair. Yeah.
And just to remind the viewers, this is because we had a caveat that Joe said we wanted 4 in each tier. So this is why it might be perceived to be a little bit harsh. In E, well, that was the caveat, wasn't it?
It was.
So obviously, that is the caveat with it, that we needed 4 in each topic.
Have to have 4 in each kit.
Next, manager.
Dean Smith.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Dean Smith. I think he's one of those that... Because he doesn't look as suave as Antonio Conte or Guardiola. He maybe doesn't get the plaudits. So I'm always rooting for Norwich and Dean Smith. That said, in terms of this long list, I think D.
Yep.
Yeah. I think solid, competent, has kept them up. Probably should still be Aston Villa manager. But the run of results wasn't good enough, so he did lose his job for probably a good reason. So I think you put him there.
3 wins and a draw in his last 4 in all competitions, so he's definitely turned it around a little bit.
If he keeps them up,
credit to him.
Astounding.
Yeah, outrageous if he keeps Norwich in the division from the position he took over in. OK, next manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl, a man I think is doing an excellent job at Southampton at the moment, given quite substantially small spending.
If I had my hands on that card there, it would have to go maybe G.
What's going on, Specs?
No, because I've seen this manager lose 9-0 twice, and I've seen him cry after they beat Liverpool 1-0.
Kenny's doing an astounding job with a very small budget, and he's got all of the players playing the exact way that he wants them to.
Harsh critiques, these two, aren't they?
To say that Ralph Hasenhüttl should be G because he lost 9-0 twice in really exceptional circumstances. I mean, the first one against United, he was riddled with problems, and they got a man sent off in the first 10 seconds of the game.
I've managed before. I've got my youth module. I've never lost 9-0. Never.
But, I mean, levels, aren't there, Specs, of Premier League?
But there's no rules. They're both still managers.
Can you, with all these great managers, I guess the one question, can you put someone who's lost 2 games 9-0 above C? I don't think you can do that, so I wouldn't put him in B.
OK.
All right, watch this. Ready?
Yeah, go on.
Because we can't put him in E now.
Come on, man.
Well,
E.
I think
Maybe we
C.
can move.
I
All right,
think
we'll
C
do it after. C.
Yeah. I think that is a tough club to go and manage.
You've got to think of the managers coming up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
OK.
All right.
OK, next up.
This is so.
Right,
this is the toughest deal to ever done.
Antonio
next up,
Conte.
A.
Tottenham.
A.
A for you.
We've only got one spot left,
and that's from an Arsenal fan saying.
I think we're probably right. It's Antonio.
Gotta be A,
It's got to be Antonio.
It has to be A.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although it'd be interesting to see how his reputation changes after the Spurs job.
Yeah, after the Spurs job, how long does he stay at Spurs, do you think? Is there a potential genuine chance of him walking, do you think?
Not before the start of next season, no.
Do you think he sticks it out?
No, I mean, what's the point in being there in the first place if you're not going to get to the start of next season?
Why I think he's up there as well is because all the clubs he's managed at, he's left them in a better position than when he started. Multiple titles at Juventus, and also when he won the league with Chelsea and with Inter Milan, they hadn't won the league previously, so he always improves every club he's been at, and he's made a difference at Spurs already. So he's an 8 for you.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Next one.
Good old Roy. Good old Roy.
Right.
I love Roy.
How old is he?
You know Roy.
74.
Roy managed my dad.
74.
Roy managed your dad?
Managed my dad in
Wow.
his first ever managerial job. I think he was 27. Dad, if I'm getting this wrong, I'm getting this wrong. And my dad's like well into his 60s, and he's still knocking about.
Love
so
it.
You've got to give
Wow.
him some credit for that.
Just because of that, let's put him B. No, honestly, if you're dad, please, from me.
I don't think you've had enough, responsibility in this. So feel free to check.
Lads, we've got 2. We've got David Moyes and we've got Bruno Lage, who's doing an unbelievable job at Wolves coming up, and we're about to put Roy in B.
If we're being sensible,
For your dad, you don't want it.
Oh, my dad's not bothered.
You sure?
Yeah, he's not bothered.
He's not watching.
No, he might be watching.
Well, I will say, though, I do think that's a good appointment for Watford,
Yes.
Roy, in terms of what they need and steadying the ship.
Yeah, I agree, totally.
They've had a draw already at Burnley, so I do think that's a good appointment for Watford. Two more, Joe.
Two more then. These are two difficult ones. You've got Bruno Lage and you've got David Moyes in there.
That's easy. You know what to do.
So, yeah. Should we do them together?
Let's do them together.
Yeah.
I think David Moyes has done a astounding job at West Ham. If they can get themselves in the Champions League, which I think they've got a real shout of doing, with no investment in January, which I think was a huge mistake, it's crazy. And I would put him B quite easily. Bruno Lage has done a wonderful job. But it's early days still, I think.
Third best defensive record in Europe. That is incredible.
We called this about a month ago. I just think it's gone so under the radar how good Wolves have been this season. One of the best defensive, you said, in Europe.
Yeah.
That they've had injuries. They've lost key players, the likes of Jota previously. They've had Neto out injured. Traore's gone. They've had a lot to contend with. Rui Patricio left. They've brought in a keeper who's as good, if not one of the best keepers in the league. I just think the job that he's done has been so underappreciated at Wolves.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that's completely fair. And actually, the quality of the football has probably gone up a notch. Because it was very defensive with Nuno. I just think, look, I think this tier list, we've got these rules right here because these aren't bad managers, really. But you've got to kind of find a way of ranking them for great entertainment. And thus, I think Bruno Lage is C. I have to put David Moyes. If it's a straight shootout between these two, I think David Moyes has to go.
Yeah, Moyes done a good job as well, hasn't he?
When he took over, they were hovering around relegation, and we're now talking about them potentially getting the Champions League, and he's improved so many players, the likes of Jarrod Bowen, really gone to a whole new level under
also,
Moyes, so.
in Europe as well, they've been brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah, and some of the recruitment's just been sensational, hasn't it? So, are we happy with this? Is there any changes?
Should we get Specs' thoughts on this? Because obviously, James, you've taken a lead.
Yes.
Specs, which ones are you unhappy with here?
Rangnick.
Vieira sitting in ease.
I knew it was.
It's hurting my back.
Who would you change Vieira for then? Because it is a tight list, and to have 4 names in each category, you've done very well. I think it's really is a very tough criteria.
Yeah.
Because we said you had to have 4 names.
Yeah, just to echo that. Had to have 4 in each criteria, so it is harsh on the ones in here. I mean, I think, someone like Lampard and Gerrard, I think are 2 good young coaches coming through. But obviously, it's hard for you because they've only managed for those clubs.
James, we know you usually do on your tier list, you can make 1 change.
Yes?
Obviously, it's so perfect now, isn't it? It would have to be a straight swap, which makes it a bit tricky. I honestly think we've achieved a lot today, and that's perfect.
OK,
we're absolutely fine with it.
There we go. So that is the confirmed tier list from Specs and from James. Let us know what you think about that at home. Yeah.